Karla here, and I'm so glad you've joined me on another adventure where I find magic in everyday things and hope to inspire you to do the same. Today we're going to be talking about roses, and we're going to make a delicious rose elixir. So come on. Hi, roses are such a special flower. Today, they're used and loved all over the world. But did you know that they're actually an ancient flower? That paleontologists found rose fossil 35 million years ago. Yeah, and they've been cultivating roses now for about 5,000 years. So I think it's safe to assume that human beings have figured out a thing or two about roses and their uses. So not only are they wonderful for their beauty and fragrance for perfumes, but they're also awesome spiritually and medicinally. So what are those healing properties of roses? Well, first of all, they are a nervine and mildly sedative, so they help to calm the emotions. It's also an astringent, which helps to cool the body down. They're an antiseptic and anti-inflammatory, and that's what makes them really good in creams, lotions, and salves. You've seen them for cuts, bruises, and rashes. Very calming. Medicinally, roses are just cooling, calming, and very uplifting. And that's why today I'm going to pick flowers from the garden. We're going to use those petals, and we're going to make a rose elixir. It's delicious, and I'll tell you more about it when we go inside. All right, let's go. So now that we know how healing roses are, let's make a rose elixir, or as I like to call it, a hug in a bottle. But what exactly is an elixir? Dictionary says, elixir, a sweetened aromatic solution of alcohol and water serving as a vehicle for medicine. So in our case, our elixir is sweetened with honey. The alcohol and water we're using is brandy. And of course, the medicine we're using is roses. So let's gather what we need. Oops, I forgot something. Here we go. We've got our brandy, we have our local honey, and we have a jar. And of course, we need our roses. There is just something so lovely about rose petals. Now that we have our petals, I like to give them a quick wash just to knock off the bugs. You don't have to do it, but I like to do it. And now it's time to pack the jar. You don't need to cut the rose petals or pack them too tightly. Just pack them in enough so that you get all your roses inside. And now it's time to pour the honey. Now I don't really measure. I do this intuitively. I look, I adjust as needed because I don't like my elixirs too sweet, but I love honey. And now it's time for the brandy. I selected this brandy just because I remember my mom having it back in the day, so it had good memories. Anyway, you want to fill the brandy to the top. You don't want to have any rose petals over the brandy or else it'll oxidize. So I just want to stir it around, make sure everything gets covered, and keep filling that jar. And now we need to shake that jar so that we can dissolve the honey and the alcohol. All right, so here's my finished product. Now there's only one thing left to do, to put on a label. I like to put the name and the date on the bottle so I'll know when it's ready. It looks great. I love the colors. Now I'm going to take my completed jar and put it in a warm, dark place at minimum 4 weeks. I'm using a tote with the seed starting heat pad, but you can put it on top of the refrigerator or freezer. Just remember to shake it often. Every day go in and shake it a couple of times. No, your eyes are not fooling you. 4 weeks has not gone by. This is my Rose Elixir that I have on hand, which I absolutely love. This one is made with vodka instead of brandy, so I'm assuming the brandy will be darker. But this is so delicious, and I usually take about 1 or 2 teaspoons, especially when my heart is just heavy. You can also, it's so delicious, you can just pour it over ice cream or over gelato. There's so many things you can do with this. I hope I've inspired you to try some Rose Elixir. So easy to make. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you on my next adventure.